Yeah, very cool, very cool. Hello everyone, welcome to the Take Care Man channel. My name is Todd. In this video we're going to be shaving with the Spice Vitae shave soap from Wholly Kaw. I was going to be using this one anyway very soon, but Glenn Helley posted a video, I'll link it below, that prompted me to go ahead and use this soap. We'll talk about that when we start lathering. And when we do lather, we're going to use Reed's Lather Whip technique. Reed, aka the Lather Whipster over at the ShaveCave, we're going to be trying that out. So hence the excess lather storage shirt to prepare for that. We are also going to be giving away the weight soap and splash that we talked about a couple of videos ago. So we're going to be drawing for that. We'll probably do that between the first and second passes, right before we go into the second pass. And we're going to be using for the first time the Rex Envoy razor. So this is the adjustable one is the Ambassador. This is the non-adjustable. This is the Envoy. And I was enabled, as he likes to say, by Ken over at Shave 326, the shaving degenerate, to check out this razor. And we're using the Wild West Brushworks handle with the Maggards super high density knot. Glenn, and again, his channel link below, and specifically the video that I'm talking about here, really wanted someone to talk about the Spice Vitae scent from Wholly Kaw, because he's not sure quite how to peg it.
But this soap confuses me. It's a great performer, but I can't figure out the scent. It's so, I don't know, it boggles my mind. I like it, but it's weird. Like usually when I smell something, it triggers a childhood memory from a, something, a scent from back in my younger days, or maybe not so long ago. But this one, phew.
I kind of resonate with that because when I first smelled it off of a sample, it smelled like something I recognized, right? It smelled like something from my memory. And it gives me some sort of vibe of like the 1970s when I was a kid. There was a older department store in our city, kind of old, like throwback department store, kind of a little dusty, but also as soon as you walked in, there was the fragrance and makeup counter, and then all these like leather goods to the right, sort of, purses and wallets and billfolds, and also the shoes were there. So it kind of reminds me of that. You get that 1970s sort of musky, but also leathery and richness, a little sweetness. That's off of the sample. Now, when I got the full puck, I was a little disappointed, because off this puck, I'm getting some animalic notes. Like perhaps the base is shining through the fragrance notes. And what's interesting, when you look at the sample, and this might just be due to oxidization, but the sample, I don't know how well you can see that, but the sample is kind of a brown color. It's not showing well there, probably because of the exposure, but it's got a brownish tint to it, where this soap in the tub looks more just white, and it's actually blowing out the exposure there. I'll tilt it a little bit, but it's noticeably a lighter color. So I'm going to wet the face, load the brush, and we'll come back and talk a bit more about this soap. Now I'm going to link Reed's Lather Whip technique video tutorial below over at the ShaveCave. I watched it. I've watched it a couple of times now, but I watched it last night in preparation for this shave, and I've actually tried it before in some of my shaves off camera, just because it makes sense to me, and it does work. But although I'm a noob at it, I've not had much practice at it, so we're going to see how we do there. Now Reed, in his lather technique, he uses a boar brush. I'm using this Badger brush, but I assume probably any type would work. It mostly has to do with trying to get the lather out of the brush, so some of the denser knots might not work as well. And granted, this is a super high density knot from Maggards, so we'll see how this goes. But we're just going to load the heck out of this. That's what we got there on our load. So I'll kind of go back and forth between talking about the Lather Whip technique and then Glenn's question about the scent. It reminds me of like an aftershave or a cologne that my dad or granddad would have wore. like the early to mid to late 70s. But I can't particularly peg it with anything. It reminds me a little bit of English leather, but not exactly. Something that's close to me is Tertius from A&E. That soap, I don't know how many of you have tried that. It's got a similar, but not very similar. It just gives me some of the same vibes. I'm knocking all kinds of stuff into the sink here. The scent notes, and I reached out to Sri at Wholly Kaw to ask him, was there any inspiration? And he said, no, there was not a particular fragrance that inspired it. He was just trying to balance the spice notes with the base notes to sort of make the spice notes be greater than the sum of their parts, and to actually just use the base to sort of mute those spices enough. So the scent notes are saffron, pink pepper, coffee, cardamom, honey, sandalwood, patchouli, oud, benzoin, vanilla, frankincense, labdanum, musk, and cassie absolute. So again, I get some leather notes and some musky notes, but also some of the sweetness possibly from like the coffee. I get a little bit of that cardamom and the honey. The benzoin is barely there. And definitely the oud, the frankincense, the sandalwood, and patchouli. It's a well blended scent, and I like it quite a bit. And let me go back to this. I stuck some up the nose there. Let me go back to this sample and just see what we're dealing with here. The sample's still a little sweeter, but not much. And some of those animalic notes are kind of disappearing as it gets on the face here. So it might, need to breathe a little bit, if that's a thing. I've already got quite a bit of lather here, so I don't want to get going too far because I don't want to mess up trying out Reed's Lather Whip technique. So this is a pretty dense brush. It's hard to make a cavity in there. But I'm going to drop some water in here. So we're already using the excess lather storage area of the t-shirt. Already got lather running down the back side.
So cool, man. Right.
Reed pointed out something I've never noticed before. Like when you splay, you can see the lather pushing through on that back side sometimes, and then just taking that and working it in on the face. Now you can see it dripping there, this lather. Let's go ahead and try this out. I don't know we're at the appropriate stage for whipping, but we're going to try it. He actually gets at a 45-degree angle to try to, control the landing zone of his soap or the lather. I don't doubt that I'm going to redecorate part of the bathroom with this technique, because I've tried it before and I do sling soap at different places. Reed uses appropriate safety equipment, so we're going to do the same thing. Do the official Take Care Man trucker hat, get that on for this exercise. I think I might need to go backwards. Might hit the bill. Let's just see. That might be a challenge. See if we can hit the bill. Get some away from the glasses here. All right. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see what we can do here. So. Okay. Can you see how that's building up there? I could try this ambidextrously. Let's see.
Epic fail.
Don't have the same dexterity in this hand. Let's try to reach across here. Let's try it up and down, see what we get. Got some on the glasses.
You're such a noob, bro.
Oh yeah. All right, we're pretty built up here. All over the glasses, but it does work, y'all. It slings that lather out and builds it up on the face. It's kind of fun to do, honestly. Could give you carpal tunnel eventually if repeated use, but who cares, right? Having fun. All right, let's take the glasses off. We'll take the hat off too, since the dangerous part of the shave is over. He said as he's about to use a razor he's never used before. So let's get in here to the first pass. So Glenn, all I know to tell you is that I'm getting a lot of leather notes, some musk. It reminds me of a 70s department store. That's the best I've got for you. But it's definitely something from my memory, like from my childhood, and it makes me think of something my granddad and dad might have wore. I'm gonna sniff real quick. I'm gonna sniff Porthos, if I can find it quickly without having a soap-a-lanch, which is similar to Aramis. This is from PAA Porthos. Well, if I could turn, whoop, that's not helping. A little similar. There's a little bit more of a herbal. In fact, a lot more herbal, but it's in that similar vein. Reed, you can rate me on how horrible that technique was. We'll see how much lather we have on the second. So I don't remember if you do that on your second application or not, or if you just apply what's from the brush. Anyway, let's get in here for this first pass, which is long overdue. First use of the Rex Envoy with a brand new Nasset. Now, one of my concerns in using the Envoy is I'm afraid it's going to be too mild. I've gotten used to using plate 6 and plate 5 on the Rockwell 6S. And it might be that putting like a feather in here might take it to an area that there's a little more to my preference. You cannot dismiss the quality of the build, the fit and finishes, the tolerances, the CNC machining, whatever you want to talk about here, with this razor. The knurling on the handle, the grip, is second to none. It's amazing. I kind of wish the handle was about 1/4 of an inch longer, but that may just be preference. We'll see with time. I do like that the top cap is wide and covers the blade tabs, so you don't have any overlap there. I mean, this is a comfortable first pass. No complaints. Now, you get that right angle, you do get the blade feel off of this that I like. So you definitely can feel some blade exposure when you get to the right angle with this, and I prefer some blade feel. So not so much blade exposure, but feeling the blade exposure. Okay, that was a good first pass. So I said what we do between the first and second passes is we'd give away the weight soap from First Line Shave and the aftershave. If you haven't watched that video, I'll link it below. I talk a lot about PTSD and complex PTSD, which is what Michael at First Line Shave sort of dedicated this soap to be about, to sort of focus attention onto that. So I used a random comment picker using everyone who commented with "I'm in," which was the key words that you were going to use there. And so you can watch it here as it randomized. I think there was 21 or 22 total entries. And the winner is Jose Angel Medeiros. So Jose Angel Medeiros. Hope I pronounced that right. So if you will message me via Instagram or through Facebook, they're linked in the description below in terms of my Facebook page for this channel and my Instagram handle. So you can contact me and we'll connect and I'll get this shipped out to you. So congratulations, Jose. I hope you enjoy the soap. It's an amazing scent. Now, Reed, I don't know if I'm supposed to lather whip here, if I'm just supposed to apply. It's gotten a little dry on me, a little nick there. I'm gonna put a little water back in this. And what the heck, let's, even without the glasses, let's see what we can do in a second.
Epic fail.
Yeah, I think it's probably a little too thin for on the second pass. I may have got it too wet. You could always go back into the puck, but for me, on second and third passes, You know, I don't need the lather to be as thick for my own personal use. I didn't ask Shree what this reminds him of. Like he said it was not inspired by a particular scent. Let's go against the grain, second pass. But he said it was not inspired by any particular fragrance. In other words, not a dupe of a men's fragrance. So I mentioned selling the Razor Rock Hawk V3, which is a great razor, particularly a great value for a stainless steel Artist Club style razor. But I'm selling it because I am trimming down my den to just a handful of razors that I really enjoy. And some of those are currently posted for sale on the Wet Shaving Enablers Buy Sell Trade group on Facebook, which I'll link below. But also I have been putting some soaps on a storefront I created there using Murphy and McNeil's marketplace tool. So I'll link to what I'm calling TCM for Take Care Man, TCM Treasure Trove. And within just a couple of hours of posting 5 soaps over there, 3 of them sold. And I'm going to be putting several more things on there in the days and weeks ahead. You know what? This Envoy is more aggressive than I thought it was going to be. But I think Ken said it was, for him, it was kind of like a plate 3 on the Rockwell. This is a lot more aggressive. I'm getting a lot more of a sting than I normally would. Now, sometimes when I'm trying to talk, I end up bearing down too hard. We'll try to be gentle on this third pass and just let the weight do the work. Because I am kind of, but I tell you what, there's not much to pick up there. I mean, but we do have the usual right here and in here. So we'll get back in here with a third pass. I'm going to gather some of this up. So anyway, I'll have soaps and splashes and razors going up on there because I'm trying to just trim down to the essential things. And to be honest with you, I am really committed to not buying much in the near future. Now, how near is, we'll have to say. But I'm just trying to get it down to the things that I enjoy really using. So a lot of those soaps, yeah, I'm feeling a good sting here. We may have to go with the alum on this. Like I said, I probably should have used this razor for the first time off camera just to kind of get the light touch with it. But I've definitely done a little scraping on this. Again, it may be from bearing down too hard with the razor, which I have a tendency to do, not consciously, but by not being more mindful. Okay, let's try to be careful with the angle, or more specifically the pressure, and absolutely try to use no pressure on this across the grain pass. Now in this area, which I call the swirls, the hair down there goes all kinds of different ways, so it's not sort of what across the grain would be on other parts of my face. Several people have commented I have a tendency to push, put too much pressure on the razor against my face. And I told a story one time about how my first grade teacher told me that's the way I would use crayons. I think I just have a tendency to do that on a lot of things, is just be a little too intense, which is probably why I was never a very good golfer, because I couldn't sort of let go and let things flow a little bit. Also, I'm not that athletic. All right. I would like to, give this razor I mean, I'm looking forward to using it again so that I can really focus on doing a light touch. But I will tell you, I am not disappointed in terms of what I thought I would be, which is it being too aggressive. It's not as smooth as I would like, but I'm going to say that that's 100% operator error at this point. Okay, so a few spots there that are showing a little blood, but I'm going to tell you what, guys, that is a smooth shave. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So let's rinse off and we'll come back and get into the post shave. Well, guys, this happens from time to time. I think it looks like I did not hit record on the post shave.
You're such a noob, bro.
And I used the Spice Vitae Splash. I was saying I don't particularly care for these rounded bottles. I prefer like the flask style bottles. They kind of actually, you know, do better back to back than round ones. But I do like the amber color, which would help like prevent like UV damage to the scents and the ingredients in there. But what was neat about this, and I'll put a little bit more on here, in fact, you know, always looking for an excuse, is this was strong in a coffee note. Now, I'm actually getting rid of a couple of scents that the coffee in there is like a sweet coffee, so like a flavored latte or something, instead of just like black coffee or freshly ground coffee or freshly roasted ground coffee, just freshly roasted coffee. Anyway, you get what I'm saying, straight coffee. And that's what I get with this aftershave splash. It's a departure from that full puck, but it moves a little bit closer to what I smelled off the sample. I get the coffee, perhaps the honey and the cardamom, a little touch of vanilla, but not a sweet vanilla, just sort of a boozy vanilla, if you know what I'm talking about, like if you smell vanilla extract. And possibly the sandalwood there, maybe a little bit of the oud and benzoin, but mostly coffee, like just coffee forward, and I love it. It's a great compliment to the soap. You know, a lot of people complain about soaps and post-shave products not matching. Well, keep in mind they have different bases, like different media that they're being, like, in other words, there's not alcohol and you know, that you'd have an alcohol splash in a soap. There's just not a lot of ingredients that are the same often, and so those scents are naturally going to blend a little differently, and you can adjust the scents a little bit to try to make them closer, and some end up being really close, like with the weight from First Line Shave. That soap and splash are very close, but for this it's different but very similar and complements. So it's not like you, if I put this on, I'd still think, okay, yeah, that's Spice Vitae, but much more of a coffee forward. And Glenn, I can't remember what you got from the post shave. I'll have to go back and look at your video. I think you have the post shave splash, but nice menthol feel on this. A really great scent. I like that. I'll be interested to see how it dries down, but it's definitely coffee forward at this point for me, which is a good thing. So yeah, congratulations again, Jose, for winning the weight soap and splash. Contact me about that. Glenn, I hope this was helpful in terms of trying to figure out what's going on with that scent, see if that resonates with you at all. Also, check out my new storefront over at Murphy & McNeil, TCM's Treasure Trove, where I'm doing a lot of den cleaning with razors and soaps and splashes and even some fragrances. And some more will be added in days and weeks ahead. And I have sort of redecorated part of my bathroom here with the lather. It's on the door, it's on the floor, it's on the mirror, some more on the floor here. Don't think any made it to that wall, but Reed, yeah, give me a critique on that. I'll definitely try it again. And I enjoyed using the Rex Envoy for the first time. I look forward to really focusing on that razor maybe in the next shave. By the way, in that next shave, we're going to be using the citrus ice from Ginger's Garden. Irina sent this to me along with a splash. So we'll try this out in the next shave, and then we'll go on with Wholly Kaw, and then we have another artisan that I've been talking to. So yeah, great shave with Spice Vitae from Wholly Kaw, with the Rex Envoy, with the Lather Whip technique from Reed, aka the Lather Whipster over at ShaveCave. So thanks everybody who commented on the weight video and entered into the contest. We'll have more giveaways coming up really soon. So, as always, thanks for watching. And until next time, take care, man.
Fit your neck, clear your lips, you've lather whipped.